What's up everyone? It's been a while since I've done a video, but I'm about almost finished with Path of Exile, and I just wanted to bring you guys a quick guide on leveling uniques and the ones that I use for leveling. So first up we have bows. We have a Stormcloud and Death's Harp. Stormcloud for elemental, Death's Harp for physical, but in general Stormcloud is better because not only is it a lower requirement for level wise, but like physical doesn't really start to get strong until you scale it. So you can level elemental and then switch into Death's Harp at level 32, and the faded versions of the bows are of course better. But these are the two that I use. Usually I go with like split arrow with the Stormcloud with added cold and added lightning, wed, faster attacks, whatever, just a staple, and then I use all three heralds. For Death's Harp you can go tornado shot, lightning arrow, whatever your build is going to be. Next we have the spells. So Lifesprig is pretty basic, +1 to socketed spell gems. You could use it from level 1. Cast speed, spell damage, life, mana, and the regen's nice too. And then you can use your Axiom Perpetuum. This is a new unique that I discovered recently, even though I think it's been in the game for a while now, but it's like a mini added cold lightning and crit strike cast speed. It's a really good item just to start off, but Abberath's horn is probably better in almost every other way, except it doesn't give as much DPS, but I think it makes up for it from the 30% fire damage. And then Reverberation Rod, it's really good because it gives socketed gems are supported by level 1 spell echo and +1 to the level of socketed gems, so you could try these out. Usually you want to use something like Firestorm or Blade Vortex, just depends on what you're trying to level with. Here are the attack based leveling uniques: Lakishu's Blade, Ungil's Gauche, and Fidelitas' Spike. Lakishu's Blade, it's just like the Reverberation one, and it gives socketed gems are supported by level 1 multi-strike. This is especially good when you're trying to level a character that uses Reeve or anything attack based really. You get like a multi-strike 10 levels early, and it increases your DPS by like 3 times. And the attacks per second on it's really high too. Ungil's Gauche, it's a low leveled, really high DPS dagger, and it gives 12% additional block chance, and if you dual wield it's a 24%, and the global crit strike chance is really high on it too. And then Fidelitas' Spike, you can get up to 2.08 attack speed with 1 to 50 elemental damage and a 5% chance to shock. Just a really good weapon if you're looking to level like a Cycloner or something like Spectral Throw, anything. It's really good to use a Fidelitas Spike. Next we have just like general staple leveling uniques. We have a Tabula Rasa level 1 6 link. It's really good for leveling. Then we have Wanderlust. It's just 20% increased movement speed that you're looking for and cannot be frozen. Lochtonial Caress Iron Gauntlets, just for the level 1 increased attack speed and cast speed. You want to get the maximum amount based on what type of build you're going. Ondar's Clasp gives you 30% increased attack speed on full life, and then like a 1 to 13 lightning damage at level 5, which is really substantial. It adds a lot of damage. Next we have just 3 more basic staples, which is a Gold Rim. It's for elemental resistances, and the rarity is nice too, but it really doesn't help as much. Crest of Parandus gives 80 life at level 8. That's so crazy, but it's really good too. 7.5 life regen, 30% lightning res. It's like an all-around defensive shield. Meganord's Girdle adds a lot of damage to your attacks and gives you increased maximum life, cold res, and flash life recovery rate. overall a really good belt for leveling physical builds. Lastly, I have or not lastly, there's one more after this, but these are my top 3 personal favorite leveling uniques. Praxis gives you it's a unique Elrion jewelry. Elrion jewelry, of course, you want to use for leveling because, as you can see, there's the unique affix negative cost to mana cost of skills. So if a skill were to cost 18 mana, with this Praxis it would cost 10 mana, and then you regen 3 to 6 mana per second, and that gives you like a crap ton of mana and a mini mind over matter. So overall really good. Atziri's Foible gives you mana regen, but the items and gems have 25% reduced attribute requirements is what's the good affix on this item, because let's say you're leveling as a marauder and you're trying to play an explosive arrow build, you might not be able to level your gems because the attribute requirements are too high. And if you use an Atziri's Foible, then it solves a good amount of the problems with attribute. And that's another thing for attribute requirements is Perandus Blazon. I only use this for the plus 20 to 30 attributes. Everything else is just like a mini helpful 20% increased blast effect for your Quicksilvers. That's pretty nice. And some fire res. Lastly, I have Facebreakers. Facebreakers is probably one of the best ways to level a physical build, especially with these 2 new unique items, the Warden's Brand and Skirmish. I've leveled at least half of my characters this league through Facebreakers just because it's so nice with shield charge and the Warden's Brand. So you can get up to 800% more unarmed physical damage. And the Warden's Brand gives you a flat 15 to 50 physical damage, 30% attack speed reduction, 15% to gain a frenzy charge. So it's not that bad, the 30% reduced attack speed, because you one-shot everything anyways. But if you don't like the speed, you can just get some iron rings with really high fizz damage on them. And Skirmish is super powerful. Because first of all, you can wear it while using Facebreakers, and then you can use it with Ancestral Warchief Totem, which means that you can summon 2 Ancestral Warchiefs, and the damage is insane with the Warden's Brand and Facebreakers. So you guys can try this out. That's pretty much my my list of leveling uniques that I use personally when I'm trying to level characters. I'm probably going to be done with Path of Exile until the next expansion because I have a lot of things going on, like school. But you can subscribe just to see if I come out with new content, and you can also like follow my Twitch TV. I will link it in the description, and that'll be all. Thank you.